Welcome everybody to ForexNChill. So glad to see you all again. We have a special treat for you tonight. So bring your friends, bring your family. I'm sure they're going to enjoy it.
What's up, Grant?
Hey Gigi, how you doing?
I just wanted to call in and say hello and thank you. I'm in Walmart with my grandchildren spending money.
Oh, very nice.
My granddaughter turned 2 Sunday, so we're still spoiling her just a little bit.
Well, happy birthday.
She's a new owner of a baby shark, singing shark. So you can imagine what the rest of my night's going to be like.
My favorite song in the world for about 3 months at one point. All right, once again, welcome everybody to Friday Night ForexNChill. It's Friday evening, September the 27th, and our special guest tonight is Terrell Rolland, aka T Banks. He should be on with us in just a few moments. And don't forget, those of you who are invited tonight by friends of IM Academy, don't forget that September the 30th, I believe, is the last day for signing up without the enrollment fee. I believe it's discounted. If we have $60 off. Once again, for those who are friends of IM Academy, the special enrollment fee ends Sunday night at midnight. So don't forget to get back to the people who invited you today. Now, Terrell should be on in just a little while, but I do want to thank him for being one of my mentors. He's a good friend. He's definitely one of the greatest traders to come out of Chicago in a very long time. And he's definitely going to show us some exciting things tonight. And I'm sure that when you take notes tonight, you're going to be very, very happy. There we go. We're getting more people on right now. A lot of people coming on. That's awesome. Let's get it up to over 100.
What's up, Terrell?
Yo, what's up, Gigi? Can you hear me?
Terrell, welcome.
Grant, my boy, how you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. I've been busy. I apologize being a few minutes late, man. I had a couple of evening meetings that actually went over that I wasn't expecting.
Of course. Always going above and beyond for your students. I totally get it. You've always done that for me and for everyone that you've been involved with. Everybody, I want to welcome Mr. Terrell Rolland, otherwise known as T Banks. He's got his own YouTube channel. He is definitely a great friend, a great mentor, and a six-figure plus trader. He was able to reach 6 figures in 7 months. What I'm going to do now is make him co-host, and he'll be able to share his screen and teach us some secrets that we've been waiting to see.
All good? Yo, what's up, everybody? Everybody can hear me?
I can hear you. Can everybody hear him?
Yes, sir.
We can hear you, B-Dog.
I can hear him. Yes.
The legend himself, T Banks, the legend.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing right now.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. What's up, everybody? So before we actually get started, for those who do not know me, I will actually introduce myself. My name is Terrell, 29 years old, born and raised here on the south side of Chicago, where I'm currently at, where we getting like a flood warning right now. It's raining something crazy. But, man, really excited, man. I appreciate you, Grant. I appreciate you, Gigi. Love you all. All the things you all have done for me since we all actually met. I truly appreciate that. I saw this thing called Forex. I started trading about 1.5 years ago, back in January. Had no idea what trading was. I never even knew it was possible to make money from your phone, right? And I saw this idea from a friend, and she actually introduced me to someone who told me they turned $40 into $1.3 million in 8 months. So like me, knowing me and the grind that I do, I've been doing my whole life. Being from the south side of Chicago, I just needed hands on that. I needed to see what was going on. So my first trade I got in, I turned 30 cents into, I think it was like $28 or something like that. I went nuts, right? Because did I just really just make $28, right? So with that being said, I just got locked in. I got very, very storming in Milwaukee too, y'all. And see, I was supposed to come to Milwaukee. Sorry about that. I just got off track. But yeah, I turned that, like, that's what a light bulb came on, because I saw the possibilities. I'm like, if I can do that with 30 cents, what could I possibly do with $30 when I get that type of money, right? Like, what could I do with that? So then, like, it's just all in from there. Like, I just knew, like, this was something that I really just had. I just had to, like, really learn the skill set. Right. So I got in tune. I met my mentor. If you don't have a mentor, I advise you to get one. Get to someone close, man. Pick their brain, because that's literally what changed my trading career, getting a mentor. I got my mentor. He taught me everything that I know now. So I ended up loading $2,000 into a trading account last year, May. And I ended up ultimately turning that $2,000 to over 6 figures, to where now I've actually, I train people around the world now. I actually get flown around the country and train people. Me and Gigi is actually in the works of hosting the event. So me and her actually teaching people. I don't know where we're going to do it yet. I know we was talking about Miami, Chicago, Myrtle Beach. One of those 3 places we was talking about doing something. So you all definitely stay in tune for that as well. My best day trading was a $16,000 day. I literally did that in my sleep. My best week was a $19,000 week. And man, I walked away from my job after working there for 6 years after graduating college. I actually walked away from a $32 an hour job 4 months ago at the end of June. So I'm full-time entrepreneur now. I actually pretty much go where I want to go, do what I want to do, kick it with whoever I want to kick it with now, right? One of my joys out of this thing is has nothing to do really about the money that I make, because, like, I know money comes and go, right? But it really has to do with the joy that I bring into other people with actually sharing the skill set and teaching them to where they can learn the skill set and they're freeing themselves as well. I love it when some of my students come to me and tell me, bro, I just made my first $1,000, or bro, I just made $20 today. I just had my best week ever. I made $300, right? I love those stories, right? So that's what really brings the joy, to actually be able to share this information and teach people how to actually really have that sparkle in their eyes again from when we was actually kids, to where they say you can be whoever you want to be, do the things that you always wanted to do when you get older. Like, we still have those dreams now when it comes to this skill set, right? Those light bulbs come back on, instead of, oh man, not another Monday. Oh man, I got to be at work tomorrow. I got to hurry up and fix my lunch. Like, like we naturally down, we're naturally stressed, and we don't even realize it, all because of the life we live on a day in and day out basis, just so we can pay our bills. So anyways, I know y'all didn't get on here just to hear me talk or whatever. Well, I guess you did want to hear me talk, but just not about my story. So I know it didn't sound that intriguing to y'all, but it sounded intriguing to me. So I thought I'd just bore y'all with it again.
Thank you so much, Terrell. I'm going to make you host. I'm going to make you host right now. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'm going to kind of do something a little different for y'all today. Instead of me talk about one thing, I actually decided to actually talk about 2. But even before I even talk about those 2 things, right, you cannot share. Okay, just let me know when I'm hosting. I'll go ahead and all right, you know what? Let me stop my share, and you can start sharing, I believe.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Cool. So yeah, y'all can see my screen, right? Okay, cool. So, like, I kind of want to do something a little different. I want to talk about 2 things. So now I don't only want to talk about, of course, market structure. Like, I just personally feel like that should always be a lesson coming into the gate is market structure. But based on market structure, I know one of the things that people really, really love me about, they really love me about how I enter the market. Now, I enter the market on several different occasions, but I actually want to share with you all on, one of my most unique ways to enter the market, whether it's naked entries and stuff like that as well. So I'm going to kind of be everywhere today, not per se. Of course, I'm not that guy to really just, I do all the talking and you all just be quiet and listen. I'm not that guy. I love having conversations. Honestly, in Chicago right now it's 9:15. I don't mind being on here to 1:15 in the morning as long as the conversation is genuine, as long as we having back and forth good talk. Like if I start feeling like it's dry and dead stuff like that, okay, cool, like whatever. So I say all that to say not that I'm going to get off early or I'm going to stay on to 1:15, but I say that to say like don't hesitate to unmute yourself and ask your questions and stuff like that. Like I'm not that guy to where you just got to be quiet and just go through things. So if you got questions, definitely don't hesitate to do that over the course of this. So anyways, so before I get started, does anybody from me have any questions coming out the gate?
How was your day today, big dog?
Oh, the day was pretty good, man. Pretty busy, but that's always a good thing. I'd rather be busy for myself than be busy for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact.
yeah, so I'm always busy, but I never complain, man. For real, for real. So yeah.
If you did, a lot of people wouldn't even hear you, man.
Yeah, nah, that's real. That's real. So okay, cool. So
What's up, man? It's James. What's going on?
yo, Jamie, what up, my boy?
Hey, boy, you know how we do it in the side. Hey, you gonna talk about a little bit of mindset tonight?
If that's what you want to hear, I got you, bro.
Hey, all day, every day. Let's cut the rope.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're just gonna start from nitty gritty, man. All right. We gonna like I know we probably got some new traders on here. If you new and not as experienced, do me a favor and drop a couple of threes in the chat. That way I know like I'm not just talking to my Jamies out here, vets. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound like broken records out here, you know, because like we got beast on here, Grant, GG. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure I'm not talking to just all vets. So okay, cool. So we got some fairly new people on here. We got some people who actually want to, you know, so we're going to start from the beginning, right? So everybody knows me. I'm known for market structure, right? So my biggest thing when it comes to market structure, the reason why market structure is my opinion, not saying that I'm right or whatever, but in my opinion, the best form of actually learning how to trade and knowing that skill set of market structure is because it allows me to really trade any type of way, no matter what strategy I decide to use. I can always add market structure in there. Market structure actually tells me where I'm at in the market at all times. I'm never lost. I always know what's going on. Literally something that I learned about myself. And Gigi, she can allude to it. Like, I have to give her a prop. She was right because she literally told me, Terrell, if you start scalping, you will be a beast. You will like literally, like you'll make money fast, right? And I'm like, I didn't see that at first, right? She saw people see things in you faster than you see things in yourself. And honestly, like since I've been building my organization with my business, one of the things that I do is I actually help them make money scalping. And one of the things that I've come to find is that based on my knowledge of market structure, right, that they're able to get in and out of trades in literally minutes, seconds sometimes, right, just based off of my knowledge of knowing where I'm always at in the market based off of market structure. So I'm going to do my due diligence with actually sharing with you all how I can literally read the entire market going all the way down. And I'm going to narrow and I'm going to break it down to where it's simple as, you know, even you brand new traders are able to actually catch on to it. Because I'm going to be real. I'm a very simple guy. I'm not that guy to give you all these fancy names, these fancy colors or these lines crossing this and all ikimoku and all these Japanese. I'm not that guy, right? I'm going to literally show you trend lines, whether it's going up, down, impulse flag, stuff like that, right? So with that being said, again, I like to have conversation. For anybody who actually put 3 in the chat, can anybody tell me how does the market move? I'm assuming some of you all who put 3 in the chat, you're fairly new, but you know something. So can anybody tell me how the market moves?
Up and down.
Up and down.
Impulse, flag continuation.
Right. Okay. Yep. So impulse. Right. Impulse right there. Yep. Flag, a continuation, right? No matter how the market moves, no matter the pair. When people always ask me, which pair do you think I should actually, do you recommend I should study? Should I study 1 pair, 2 pairs, 5? I'm like, I don't get into what pairs I study, right? Because I understand the overall movement of all pairs. I don't care what pair it is. I don't care if it's a company. It can be Facebook that I type in here. It can be Apple. all these actual, every chart, the way I teach how to trade, I don't teach you a strategy. I don't teach you how to trade a pair. I teach you how to read a chart, right? And every chart literally moves like this all the way through. Impulse, flag, continuation. Impulse, flag, continuation. Doesn't matter the time frame, doesn't matter the pair. I'm on a monthly right now. Guess what's on this monthly? I got a impulse, a flag, a continuation, a flag, a continuation, right? I can drop down to my 1 minute time frame, right? On my 1 minute time frame, guess what I got on my 1 minute? An impulse, a flag, a continuation, a flag, a continuation, right? It doesn't matter if I go to y'all, some people love US 30. Guess what US 30 got, right? US 30 has, I'm gonna go to a different time frame just to show y'all. Go to the 15 minute. I'm just picking something, right? Guess what? That's what this is. Impulse, a flag, a continuation, a flag, a continuation. So it doesn't matter the pair, it doesn't matter the time frame. None of that matters. All you need to know is that the market moves that exact same way all the way through, right? So now that we know that that's how the market moves all the way through, can anybody tell me what is the most important time frame throughout the entire market?
Monthly, weekly, daily.
Monthly, weekly, daily, right? Those are the three highest time frames, right? So you always predicate your analysis based off of these higher time frames. Why? Because this allows you, if like I always tell people, always know where you are in the market. And always knowing where you are in the market allows that consists of you understanding what's going on in the higher time frames. The reason why you need to understand that, because before these make the move of whatever these is making, these happen, it happens here first. Happens in these smaller time frames first, predicated based off of these bigger ones. So I need to know what's due for this bigger one to understand what's going to happen here first, right? So the monthly, weekly, daily. So can anybody tell me the difference between the monthly time frame and the daily time frame? What's significant about the monthly and the what's the difference between the monthly time frame and the daily time frame?
The monthly tells the whole story.
It tells the whole story, y'all. What's the significance between, I mean, any time frame, honestly, what's the significance about the monthly time frame? What does each candlestick represent on the monthly?
30 days.
Time.
1 month. Right? And now I tell people all the time, and I promise you, in my analysis, this is the most important thing to understand when it comes to trading. Every single time, I never leave it out. And I talk about it every single class I have with my students, boot camp students, whatever. It doesn't matter. The ultimate thing you will always want to understand, you want to always learn, you want to always know when it comes to this monthly time frame is, this Forex thing, learning how to trade, is you want to understand time frames. If you don't understand time frames, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Not saying you still can't make money, but you're doing yourself a true disservice, right? So on the monthly, every 1 month on this, every candle represents 1 month on this candle. So as you can see, looking down, you see the month right here on this candle is September. This candle right here is August. That candle right there is July. 1 month, a month before that, the month before that, right? So if I took a trend line right here and put it on this month right now, what's today's date? Today's date is the 29th, I believe, 27th. Yeah. So today's date is the 27th. So it's good to say that we're pretty much at the end of the month, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Right. So we pretty much at the end of the month. How many weeks are in a month?
4.
How many days are in a week?
5.
How many 4-hour candles? I mean, how many 4 hours is it in a day?
3.
6.
Right. Yeah, 6. I'm talking about right. I confirmed it. But yeah, 6. It's 6 4-hour candles that form in a day. And how many 1-hour candles is in a day?
24.
24 hours in a day, right? Exactly. That's all the market is. Understanding time frames is literally a story. It's literally a puzzle, and you just put the pieces together. So if I take this trend line and I throw this trend line on this monthly time frame, right? I mean, on this monthly candle, this 1 month of September, and I drop down to the weekly, guess what? How many months is in a week? I mean, how many weeks are in a month?
4.
We at the end of the month, right? There's 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles, 4 candles. Wow. These 4 candles formed on this weekly in this 1 month. You see that? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm going to drop down to the daily. How many days are in this month?
30.
30. So we have roughly, so we're not at the end of the month yet, but we have roughly somewhere around 27 candles in this form right here, just right here on our daily. Drop down to the 4 hour, so on and so on. Within this month, whatever, we have this. Like this happened this month. All of this happened within this entire month, right? Right now in the month of September on our 4 hour. That's how many 4 hour candles we have. Again, that's all you're doing is breaking down time frames all the way through. Now, anybody got any questions on any of that so far? Does all of that make sense?
Hey, that honestly cleared up a lot for me.
And that's why, yeah, honestly, that's why that's the most important thing. Yeah, and most people don't break it down like that because they like, I'm a physical, I have to physically see something or physically do it, right? I'm not a person where you can just say it and then I got it. But with me just putting one single trend line on one candlestick on a monthly, just that little candle, I mean, that little trend line on that little candle right there, you're able to physically actually understand what do I mean by the difference between a monthly and a daily time. I mean, a 1 hour time frame and a monthly time frame. You understand now that based off of this trend line from here all the way with current prices at, this all happened on my 1 hour time frame based on this month, right? Like that's why this is the most important thing. You always want to understand time frames, right? Somebody asked, can I repeat? Which part? I'm sorry. I just saw. Again, if do not hesitate to unmute yourself, because I'm not gonna actually like go into the chat a lot to kind of read what you all are saying. Because like when I get go, I just keep going. So definitely don't be afraid to unmute yourself and ask for me to, you know what I'm saying, can you repeat that and all of that right there?
I have a
So
question.
are you saying? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go
If I
ahead.
can. Are you saying depending on which time frame each candle is an hour?
No, if you're on the 1 hour time frame,
okay,
each candle on the 1 hour is 1 hour. If you're on the 4 hour time frame, each candle on the 4 hour, this is 4 hours, this is 8 hours ago, this is 16 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I'm on the daily, guess what? Each candle is what? A day. This is today, yesterday, the day before that. Make sense?
Yes.
Now remember, I'm gonna put a trend line. Remember, I'm on the daily, right? So I'm gonna actually delete this monthly trend line. I'm gonna put this one trend line on the daily, right? So as I drop down time frames, I'm gonna go to the 4 hour. This all happened today. See that? If I go down to the 1 hour, how many 4 hour candles is in the 1 hour in a day? I mean, how many hours is in a day? 24, right? There you go. 4. Well, actually today was actually a little short because, you know, the market closed, but from the daily to right here, this all happened today, right? That's how you legit read the market. That's how I'm never lost in the market, because I can always literally read the entire market based on knowing where I'm at. And I'm going to get to all of that in a minute. Right now, I just want to break down the main key pieces for for everything else to start adding up, right? So now with that being said, anybody got any other questions on that? Did that make sense, ma'am? I'm sorry. I ain't asked you, did that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. So anybody got any questions before I keep going?
No, that was crystal clear.
Cool. All right. So now with that being said, I'm going to go to the next thing. Can anybody tell me what is the most important candlestick?
The bullish and bearish engulfing.
Exactly. Your engulfing candle, right? So for those who do not know what an engulfing candle is, in my opinion, that's the most important candlestick in the market. The reason why I say that's the most important candlestick, because it actually is a great signature, a great sign that the market is getting ready to push in a certain direction, that bearish or that engulfing candle actually started to head to, right? So for instance, I'm gonna actually start right here. So for those who do not know what an engulfing candlestick is, it is a candlestick that literally pushes in the opposite direction of the previous candlestick going into, no, I'm sorry. It's a candlestick that devours the previous candle going into the opposite direction, meaning right here. So I'm gonna use this for example. Let me zoom in really quick. Right? And again, whatever happens on one time frame happens on them all, and I'll show you all that. See this candle right here? This candle devoured this small green one. And with it devouring this small green one, it led to this push to the downside, right? This push to the downside was a move of over 210 pips. It was 220 pip move to the downside. And it all started with this bullish engulfing candle. And guess what happened after that? After that, and that candle, after that trend happened, you got this move to the upside. Guess what started this? A bullish engulfing candle. This right here. This candle devoured this small green one, and that led to that move. Then guess what? Price started to what? It kind of started going down. We can just take this right here. It started to go down, but guess what started that down move right there? Not a huge trend, but it's a trend nonetheless. This bearish engulfing candle devoured this. Even though this looked like it was big, this was even bigger. And you got a small move to the downside. So this whole move down here, right? Then you got this big green one. So I'm going to go to another time frame. I'll go to the 5 minutes. The same exact thing. Doesn't matter the pair, doesn't matter the time frame. They all do the same thing. Teaching you literally how to read a chart. So I'm going to find a trend right here. Let me zoom out. This is a downtrend right here. Now, starting at this downtrend, I'm going to just zoom in. Clearly, I'm not able to tell, but I'm almost 150% sure this downtrend got started with a bearish engulfing candle. See this candle right here? Hold on. All right. See how this candle right here devoured this candle right here? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Got this flag. Then the breakout, we got a bearish engulfing candle. It devoured that candle right there. So it doesn't matter. Even I'll go to a different pair. Show you all the same exact thing. Downtrend, right? Uptrend, right? Let's go to this uptrend first. With this uptrend, what started this uptrend? Let's zoom in. Look at this candle right here. See this candle and how it devoured this candle? It's a bearish, it's a bullish engulfing candle. Even on the even on flag areas. This is a flag right here. Flag is a pullback. Guess what started the continuation? Bullish engulfing candle. Look at this candle. I'm gonna zoom in for you all. Look how this candle right here devoured this small one, and it led to this move all the way to the upside. Right? Everybody see that? It doesn't matter the time. I can go to the daily. I can do the exact same thing. This downtrend right here. I'm gonna zoom in. My daily. This is actually a run right here. This is considered a run. So this is like a bunch of candles going in one direction. That's considered. You can look at that as a bearish engulfing as well. But I look at this one candle right here. It devoured this candle right here, and it led to that. Then we got a flag. Flag is a pullback, and guess what? Bearish engulfing candle. Let me know continuation was happening, right? Then we got a big move to the upside. Guess what? Bullish engulfing candle. Does that make sense? I just know I gave y'all a lot of examples. I just want to.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Which part?
The whole time.
About the pullback.
I'm gonna kind of get into that a little more. I just kind of wanted to, you know what? No, I'm gonna repeat it. My apologies. I'm gonna go ahead. So even on, let's just say, like I showed you all how the bullish and the bearish engulfing candles legit, like how those represent when price is going into the opposite direction, right? So with that being said, I'll just take, for example, this actual downtrend, and then we'll just identify flags. So the pullbacks are going into the opposite direction. Even on the pullbacks, when it's going into the opposite direction, right? What did I say an engulfing candle usually do? It usually, not all the time, but usually it shows you signs that price is getting ready to go into that opposite direction. So even on this actual flag right here, we got a bullish engulfing candle right here. Now, it may not look like it went a lot, but again, this is the daily time frame. So the bigger the time frame, the bigger the pips. This engulfing candle led to a move of over 100 pips. Once that engulfing candle kind of pretty much left. And then once the continuation started to happen, guess what this did? Created a bearish engulfing candle, right? And it continues to do the same thing. You can really look at it everywhere. So I look at this flag. This is a flag. This created a bullish engulfing candle. That bullish engulfing candle led the market to push up another 300 pips. Then guess what? After that flag was done, because remember, the market moves in post, flag, continuation. And if I'm moving too fast, because this is what I do. So sometimes I can just keep moving. Don't hesitate to unmute yourself, ask me to slow down, ask me to repeat it again, whatever. So even on this flag here, this bigger pullback, right? What led this pullback to continue to go? This bearish engulfing candle right here. That candle right here, it devoured this candle right here. So some people always say, well, does it have to be the very next candle after? No, it doesn't have to be the very next candle. In my definition, it actually just has to be the candle going into the opposite direction, right? So you see, you got a small green one here, but then the very next red one gave me that bearish engulfing. It engulfed this green one.
Quick question. How do you know a flag is forming or if you're in a flag?
That's a good question. That's kind of understanding market structure, and I'm going to kind of get into that whole thing in a minute. But it's all based upon your trend, right? So it really depends on what your trend is. It depends on your time frame. So I'm going to kind of get into that a little more in a second. And I'm going to come back to that. How you know when you're on the flag or not. Ultimately, before I even answer that, do you know what a flag is necessarily?
Yes.
You do?
When it just moves sideways, it actually makes a flag, right?
Yeah, not just sideways, because you got different flags, but for the most part, it's sideways, it's consolidation, or it's when price is going into the opposite direction of your overall trend. So really, overall, I'm going in the downtrend right here. So anything that's going up, that's considered my flag, right? Flag, right? Flag, flag. This whole move here, bigger flag, flag. Does that make sense?
I have a quick question in regards to the flag. Since you see that you're on a daily time frame and price that does shoot up within the flag, are you taking buy sells or are you just still looking for sells? Or no. Buy orders, or are you still looking for sells?
No, of course not. Remember, always knowing where you're in the market, you're allowed to, this is a downtrend, right? And let's say this flag happened, right? You asking pretty much would I really wait for this to form all the way before I do this? Of course not. That's why I don't trade off of the daily. I use the daily to give me analysis where I'm at in the market, but I trade off the smaller time frame because guess what happened on the smaller time frame? Smaller time frame, I got a move of over almost 500 pips. So of course I want some of that 500 pip move, right?
Right.
So yeah. So no, to answer that, I don't wait for this. I allow this, aka this daily time frame, to let me know this is gonna happen. And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, so I'm gonna get more in tune with this in a minute. But that's a great question. But the answer to that is no, I don't. I use the higher time frames to allow me to know what I'm doing on the smaller time frames.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, any questions with anything? Before I get into anything else, everybody understood all of those basic keys and stuff like that.
Yes. Understood.
Sure. Okay, cool. So, I heard engulfing. Did y'all understand that, or is that me?
She was real muffled.
Yeah, didn't really understand.
Can you show me again how the engulfing candle looks?
The engulfing? Sure, of course. Trend line. Let me find one. Here going engulfing right here.
Kind of far out, so I can't see it.
Okay, I got you. I'll zoom in.
Thank you.
Hold on, let me get this chat from. All right, so right here, we can agree this is a downtrend, correct?
Yes.
This candle engulfed this candle here, right? This candle engulfed this candle here.
When you say engulf, what do you mean?
This candle here, I didn't understand that at all. This candle engulfed this one here that led to my up move. This candle engulfed this one here that led to my up move. So you got bullish engulfing, you got bearish engulfings. Anytime it's bullish, that means it's going up. Bearish means it's going down. So understand, like this is a bearish engulfing. What was price doing after that? It started to go down, just like that. Led to 200 pip move to the downside. This bullish engulfing led to a 400 pip move to the upside. Every time, even in the flags, this flagged up right here, guess what happened for the continuation? Bullish engulfing for my continuation, right? Pretty much every time. Flag right here, bullish engulfing. That's why these engulfing candlesticks are key to look out for.
Is the engulfing candle always bigger than the preceding candle?
Yes, that's why it's considered an engulfing. What does engulf mean? Like when I hear engulf, I think of the Hulk, like, right? It devours like the previous candle going into the opposite direction. So it's bigger. It's not even a question, right? This candle is not even a question. Is it bigger than this candle? It devours it. You see how this devoured this candle right here? Devoured it, right? And that candle, when it devoured it, it started a move to over 300 pips to the downside. Make sense?
Hey, Terrell. Hey, on that engulfing candle, does that include if you got like a wick, or is it just the body of the candle?
Just the body of the candle. Okay. Just pay attention to the body. The body engulfing should be bigger, much bigger than the body of the previous candle going into the opposite direction.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Do you wait for the engulfing to close before you get in?
We're actually gonna get into that as well, but like right now I'm on a daily. So of course, my thing isn't to wait for the daily engulfing candle to, I'm kind of going ahead of myself, but yeah, y'all got some good questions, man. Y'all ahead. So I'm gonna kind of, I'm gonna follow the class, right? So like this engulfing right here, I'm gonna actually delete everything so y'all not confused. This is March of 2008. This engulfing right here, wait, 2019. I don't know why I just got 2008 from. But yeah. So this engulfing right here, right? Like this is a daily time frame. So this engulfing was a move of over 124 pips. This happened in one day. Because remember, each candle on the daily time frame represents what? 1 day. So in 1 day, the market moved 120 pips. So do I want to wait 120 pips later to actually catch the rest, not knowing what's about to happen? Right? So this is what this is what I'll do for you all. I'm gonna hit replay, and I'm gonna actually take all of the rest of that out. So I'm gonna go straight just to this candle right here, and then I'm gonna go back. Now, inside this engulfing candlestick, remember how many 4-hour candles is in a day?
6.
How many 1-hour candles is in a day?
24. 24.
How many 5-minute candles in a day? Look, y'all don't even know. Look.
Believe.
No, it's all good. I just wanted to get y'all, okay, cool. So again, I know it's 24 1-hour candles in a day. So on this one daily candle, right? Guess what I would have had in this one daily candle?
24 hours.
You're right, 24. Well, yeah, 24 candles, right? So with that being said, that's actually, this is nuts. We just had news, that's why. I say this just happened like that, but this was a news candle. So this was actually a bad example. But the point is, yeah, we just had news. I'm gonna kind of go back. Let me go find another example. Because I don't like that candle is just stupid, dumb, big, but it's because of news event. News pushed that. So I'm gonna just find another engulfing candle, right? On a higher time frame to answer someone's question. So we're gonna go off this daily. Yes, delete all that. So let's go to this daily candle. Matter of fact, let me just go to another pair. NZD going crazy. Let's go perfect, a GBP pair. I love GBPs. I'm sure everybody on here love GBPs as well. So I'm gonna go to, can we agree this is an engulfing candle?
Yeah.
A bearish engulfing candle on daily, right?
Yes.
So, exactly. So on this daily time frame, right, I'm gonna delete these other 2 candles previously before that, because like there's no accident that when this happened, the next 2 days, price continues to go down. Why? Because the engulfing candle shows me pretty much what direction price is getting ready to go to. Then 2 days later, it's still going down. So that's no accident. But with that being said, to answer the question, do we get in after or before? What I'll do, because I don't want to miss that, right? So because I don't want to miss that, look what happened. On the same day, what happened prior on the 1 hour candle before it happened on the daily candle? Now remember, exactly. I got an engulfing on the 1 hour before. Does that make sense? I actually got a few engulfings. So this was an engulfing candle, right? This was an engulfing candle. These are all different opportunities for me to enter before this overall daily engulfing form. So if I got in at the beginning or right after this 1 hour engulfing close, I would have caught a move of over 150 pips. If I would have got in after this engulfing close, right, I would have got 100 pips, all within this one daily candle, which is right here. That's why understanding time frames are key. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. So what you're saying is that that flag is the initial move, the continuation.
Exactly. You're inside one higher time frame candle. Matter of fact, perfect example. Inside one higher time frame candle, you're gonna catch multiple opportunities to get inside that actual higher time frame engulfing. So perfect example is UCAD. I talk about UCAD all the time because the beginning of the year, I caught this whole move. I caught this whole move to the downside. This happened January 2nd. January 2nd. If you all see this right here, I'm on a daily time frame. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take this all the way off, right? I'm gonna throw a line on here. And this actually created a weekly engulfing. So matter of fact, I'm not gonna go to the daily. I'm gonna show you all an even bigger example. I'm gonna go to the weekly because that was a weekly engulfing when that happened. I caught the entire move of a weekly engulfing, which is right here. All right, so I'm gonna delete this so you all not confused again. I have to physically see something for me to understand it. So I try to teach it physically so you all can see it, so you all understand it. So can we agree that this is a weekly engulfing, that this is an engulfing candle?
Yes. It's about to start a downtrend.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful engulfing, right? Now, this happened January. I had no idea what was going to happen after that day, right? Or after that week, right? But I had a pretty good feeling because I understand the logics of engulfing candles based off of my knowledge. I'm like, man, price is going to continue to keep going down. So, but even before this, remember, this is the weekly. The bigger the time frame, the bigger the pips. And with this time frame being the weekly, it's big pips in this time frame. So this created 300 pip move to the downside for the most part. 300 pips in 1 week. Now, I didn't get in after that 300 pips was done. I wanted to get in inside that 300 pips. So I'm going to just drop down to the 1 hour, right? Dropping down to the 1 hour, what did I see multiple times in this 1 hour time frame?
Entries.
Exactly. I saw
engulfing candles.
Exactly. So this is one engulfing. That's a sign that price is going to get ready and go. That's an engulfing, right? Based off my knowledge, this is an engulfing, right? So all of these different areas were signs that price was getting ready to go down. Now, I don't want to go over anybody's head, but the way that I enter the market, I enter based off of the smaller time frame. So if I enter off a smaller time frame, matter of fact, give me 1 second. No, I don't want to delete that one. I want to delete this. I'm taking some of these lines off so I don't confuse you all once I drop down. And again, I can't go to the 5 minute because I'm sure it's nothing on. I'm sure I can't go that far back on the 5 minutes, so I'm gonna go to the 15 minute, right? So even on the 15-minute time frame, matter of fact, I'm gonna show you this engulfing right here. This is a 1 hour engulfing right here, correct? So with that 1 hour engulfing, I'm gonna drop down to the 15-minute time frame, and I'm gonna find that same actual. The same 1 hour engulfing. Look what it did. It created a run. So this candle engulfed this, right? So this was another entry on a smaller time frame. So instead of me entering after this full 1 hour time frame candle engulfed, right? I could have got more of that. Does that make sense?
So within a run, it's just bearish engulfing candles. So you're just catching the next candle formation.
Yeah. All I did is I remember what I said. An engulfing is a candle that engulfs the previous candle going into the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. This candle is much bigger than this one, correct?
Correct.
Not to mention, I got these two 15-minute candles. Just makes sense, right? So right. That's exactly what it is. And the smaller the time frame I go down, right? The smaller the time frame I go down, the trying to think of the word, the more of the engulfing I catch. Remember, this whole move is a part of an ultimate
chicken shit. It's probably from him kicking it up a while ago. So it got.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say what? Okay, cool. My bad, y'all. But yeah, so again, matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to the 1 hour. Again, I like to teach in the physical, right? So me teaching in the physical, remember this right here was our 1 hour engulfing. That's our 1 hour engulfing, right? So dropping down to the smaller time frame, aka the 15-minute, this overall 1 hour engulfing that I just highlighted, guess what? I saw this engulfing right here. I'm sorry. I saw this engulfing right here. So this was another entry area, which allowed me to catch just within that one hour engulfing. I caught an extra 15 to 20 pips just in that engulfing, not including the entire weekly engulfing that I got inside of. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
And that's literally how I break it all the way down.
All right, so basically what you're saying is to predict what is still going to, it's still going down there, because that's an engulfing candle at the end.
Say that again. I was kind of confused.
No, my face is away from it. But no, I was saying basically what you're saying is at the end of this chart that we're looking at right now, it's still gonna be going down because that's an engulfing candle at the end of the chart, right?
Remember, the overall analysis of an engulfing candle is that the reason why I like that the engulfing candle is one of the most important candles is strictly because why? It tells us what direction price is getting ready to go into. And the bigger the time frame of an engulfing, the actual more confirmation that price is getting ready to go into that direction. Does that make sense? Perfect example. I'm looking for GBP pairs to actually rise next week, right? I'm gonna go to one of the pairs that I'm looking for next week. I'm loving
Excuse me, Terrell. I'm sorry for stopping you.
No, go ahead.
On the previous UCAD chart, how did you deal with the previous fake outs in the 15 minutes? Because you see it dropped and it kicked back up. It dropped and it kicked back up.
Let me go back. My bad.
I'm sorry. I wanted to catch you before you change.
No, you all good. You all good. Now I gotta remember where I was at. Hold on. Let me go back to the weekly because I know I broke it all the way down from there to there. I'm gonna delete all of this for you. Give me 1 second. All right. I went to that weekly engulfing, which was right there. Deleted that. All right. Now we're just gonna drop down all the way to the 1 hour. Then I found that engulfing, which is right there. Okay. 15-minute. All right. Now you said what again?
How did you deal with those previous fake outs there? Because you see, it's you know the movement is a downtrend, so you know it's going down, but then it dropped and then it kicked back up.
Right. Okay. No, Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, if we had like a lot of time, I would go over this as well. But I don't want to go like too advanced on everybody. But like Gigi knows, Grant knows, Jamie knows, a lot of people. These are patterns that I identify as reversal patterns, right? Because they're in critical areas in the market. So technically, to answer the question all the way out through, you don't know. Like you never know when it's all said and done. But one of the things that I personally know is anytime when I see price hit this top area, based off of my knowledge, I know this is a good selling area. Risky, but good, based off of my analysis of the market, right? I know I'm in a critical zone. So if I'm in this area, right, these are the times I look to actually sell, when I'm at these top parts of this actual area. Then when I see things like, how does the market move real fast? Can you answer that for me?
Impulse, correction, continuation.
Exactly. So this was an impulsive move. This was a correction. This was a continuation. This was a correction, right? So what gave me the, like, let's say I enter here, right? What gave me the confidence, not the like, nobody knows guaranteed. Nobody's, I'm not gonna say nobody, but like I'm not a genie when it comes to the market. I just go based off of patterns in my knowledge, right? I understand this is a flag, right? And then with this flag, I got a engulfing candle. That's my actual key to do what? Look to enter.
Enter. I'm sorry.
There you go, right? So anytime you enter the market, you look for flags to enter the market. This showed me a flag. What's that?
So are the flags considered like what they call consolidation?
Yeah, a consolidation or a pullback. So literally, if let's say this, I'm in a downtrend, right? The market is going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? These are all considered flags. This part right here, flag. That part right there, flag. Because remember, I'm in the overall what? Downtrend. So in this downtrend, anytime the market is going up or side to side, that's a flag. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, initially, when you're looking for a high probability trade setup, you're always waiting for price to respect that particular trend.
Ask that one more time. I don't want to lie.
Like if the market is in a downtrend and it makes a pullback, you're always waiting for price to respect that downtrend, that slanted.
Yeah. Depending on the actual time frame, of course. Remember, what did I say at the beginning? What was the most important thing about trading? Understanding time frame.
Time frame.
So remember, I forget what pair we was just on, but I showed that flag on the daily time frame. That flag was a 500 pip flag on the daily. But guess what that flag was on the 1 hour time frame? It was an uptrend, right? So that uptrend 1 hour, I want to buy. I'm not looking to wait for that 500 pip move to finish and then start getting that daily down move, right? No, I want some of that 500 pips. So you're not wrong, but it always is predicated on the time frame.
So that tied into what I asked you before in regards to like since that flag was on a higher time frame, you could potentially look for buys because those moves are bigger until it respects that trend line.
There you go. So that was you. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
You understand. Yeah. The bigger the time frame, the bigger the pip. So if I understand my higher time frame is due for a flag, guess what? I know that trend on the smaller time frame is about to be a big trend. And that kind of gets me to go into what I was about to show on GJ, right? So on GJ, right? I'm gonna show you. I didn't even get into this part yet, man. We good. I like when you get into that part yet, because that means y'all are actually, I'm doing my job with like not only teaching but actually getting some participation.
So I have a question as well. If I can ask.
Say that again.
Have a question as well. So can you explain how you will enter the market? So let's say there's a powder forming.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all of that. I got you on all of that. Let me get through this part first, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I plan on showing y'all all of that as well. But like to answer the question with GJ, right? To answer the previous question, GJ is one of my pairs that I'm looking for next week for a nice buy. So this is how I didn't even get into the part of how I actually mark up my charts. So again, like we said, starting off at the monthly is the most important time frame. Now, just looking at the monthly, can anybody who's pretty much in that new realm, or this is your first time hearing me train, can anybody just based off this monthly tell me what I'm looking for right now? And tell me why.
Looking for a buy.
For support and resistance.
Say that again.
You're looking for support and resistance.
Yeah, technically you can say that. So
The trend.
I look for
The trend of the market.
Okay.
You're looking for a buy, a reversal.
Right. So why am I looking for a buy? That's what I was looking for. Why am I looking for a buy?
For that, because you see the engulfing candle.
Because price is at critical level at the support, and price already reversed at that level before.
Exactly. So you look left, right here, price shot up, right? Looking left, right here, price shot up. This is an area where price is steady shooting up. Look at that, price shot up. Look where I'm at now. So just based off the monthly, so for those people on here who think I can't do this stuff is too hard. Notice I didn't even mark up my chart yet. People get so caught up into really, I need to know how to mark up my charts, but this and that. But you all don't realize you already just showed me that you already know what you're doing, because just based off of not even going to a smaller time frame, I'm on a monthly and you all are telling me already what I'm looking for, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna take all of this off and we're gonna drop down time frame. So I literally go from monthly all the way down. So write this down. If you got pen and paper next to you, write this down. The way I look at the market, right? You go from the monthly to the low. When it comes, the three most important time frames is the monthly, weekly, daily. The monthly, weekly, and daily tells you what you're looking for, buy or sell, right? The 4 hour and 1 hour tells you when that buy and sell is ready. And then I use the smaller time frames, the 15 minute, 5 minute. I even use the 1 minute sometimes because I'm able to break it all the way down to the 1 minute. Everybody may not be able to do that, but these tell me when to enter that buy and sell. So monthly, weekly, daily, whether I'm looking for a buy or sell, 4 hour, 1 hour, when that buy and sell is ready, 15, 5, and 1, when to enter that. Okay? So,
One more time.
One more time. Monthly,
Yes.
weekly, daily, your higher time frames. These time frames is to determine whether you're looking for a buy or sell. I trade off of the 4 hour and the 1 hour time frame. That lets me know when a buy and sell is ready. And then the smaller time frames tell me when to enter the buy and sell. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now, this all I literally do on my monthly. All I'm looking for on my monthly is my high and my low of price. This is current price right here. Your last candle is always your current price, right? Now, I say that not to talk like you all are slow or anything, but I promise you, when I first got introduced to this, I was 2 months into trading, and when I would hear people I would go to training to, who is that? Thanks, whoever. Yeah. Okay, cool. But I don't say that to talk like you all are slow or anything, but I was 2 months into trading, going to trainings, paying for ticket, paying for this, paying for that to try to understand this information. And I couldn't, every time I heard somebody say price, I didn't even know what they was talking about. Nobody explained to me. It's just the last candlestick on whatever time frame you're on. That's current price, right? So current price, this is the lower current price. This is the high. Why do I consider this the low? Because when I look left, this is the price where this is an area where price struggled. Why do I say high? Because this was the previous high that's closest to this realm. I personally don't care about what happened all the way up here. I don't care about what happened in 2014. Do you know how long it's gonna take for price, based off my monthly time frame, for price to get all the way back up here? A very long time. So with that being said, that's all I do on my monthly. Look for my high, my low. Now, as I get down to my weekly, I actually start looking for my trends in the market. Now, can anybody tell me what trend I see within this actual area of price? Can anybody tell me my trend?
You're looking at an uptrend now.
Say that again.
You're looking at an uptrend now.
The overall weekly. The overall weekly downtrend.
Downtrend.
There you go. My overall downtrend. Right? Now, how does the market move?
Impulse, flag, continuation.
Impulse, right? Flag, right? Continuation, right? Flag, continuation, flag, continuation. What's happening now?
Impulse.
Uptrend.
We just
Flag.
A flag.
a flag, a weekly flag is happening. There you go. Impulse, flag, continuation. Remember, no matter what no matter what time frame I'm on, no matter what actual pair I'm with, it's always impulse, flag, continuation. So guess what? On this weekly time frame, guess what's happening? A flag, right? So with me, remember, monthly, weekly tells me whether I'm buying or selling, right? So based off of that, what did my monthly tell me?
Buying.
Yeah, my weekly told me I was buying, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, my monthly told me I was buying. Now, what is my weekly telling me?
Downtrend.
No.
Uptrend.
Hold on. Who got a train? Hold on.
A buy.
Uptrend.
Exactly. My weekly is telling me buy right now. So remember, why is it telling me buy? Because it's telling me my weekly is due for a flag on this overall downtrend. So this flag is an uptrend. If you do me a favor, you got a train. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate
That's Emily Rivera.
Yeah. So again, you're looking for, it's telling you uptrend. I mean, it's telling you price is going up just for the simple fact that my weekly is due for a flag. So now I got my monthly told me uptrend because it's at the bottom of the support area, right? Now my weekly is telling me up because why? It's due for a flag. Now let me see what my daily is telling me. What is my daily telling me?
Is a correction. And a correction.
Oh, correct.
The same uptrend. I got this engulfing candle. Now I got a flag forming, right? What is a flag?
There.
Okay. A downtrend, a buy.
A flag is a confirmation for a continuation to the direction of the impulse. So what is that? That's a uptrend. That's an up move, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this may not look like a lot, but where we currently are, right? That's over 1,000 pips that we looking forward to on GJ. This is one of my pairs for next month. I mean, next week.
And you're looking for an engulfing candle to start
wow.
that?
That's a great question. Remember, hold on. I'm glad you asked that. Because remember, what you
This
say?
is Robbie, by the way, Terrell. What's up, man?
Oh, what's up, bro? Give me 1 second. How you doing, man? Congrats, man. Congrats.
Doing good, man. Getting these nuggets right now.
So yeah, so remember, like he just asked, like you looking for the engulfing, correct? That's a great question. But remember, what's the highest time frames?
Monthly, weekly, daily.
Monthly, weekly, daily. So if these are the highest time frames, that let me know it's time frames lower than this, correct?
Yes.
And before it happens on the daily, it has to happen on the 4 hour, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Before it happens on the 4 hour, has to happen on the 1 hour, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. I just wanted to confirm that before we went down. What do I see? Give me 1 second. What do I see based on my 1 hour?
You see a flag for continuation to the upside.
Exactly. You see this? That engulfing right there. This is right now.
Bullish engulfing candle.
Exactly, and that's confirmed to me that price is going to get ready to continue to go to the upside.
Okay, so real quick, so you ride the price back up to the nearest trend, or are you looking for take profits, or?
You can do, yeah. I mean, you know the potential. So to the nearest trend is this trend line, right? Mm-hmm. You know the potential. So technically, based off of my analysis, I can say price could literally go to here, 270 pips. Look left, right here. You can go here because this is a consolidation area, 500 plus pips, or you can go all the way up here, right? So that's roughly at this trend line up here, which is over 1,300 pips.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you enter before the move happens?
Yeah, we're going to get to entries in a minute. I just want you to understand how we read it to understand, like, in order, like, before you enter the market, you got to understand what you're entering, right? Like that's like key number one. You want to know what.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure you all understand how. Remember, I don't teach you a strategy. I teach you how to read a chart. So it doesn't matter what pair you go to. Like you all can. Everybody love US 30. I'm teaching you how you can literally go on US 30. Oh, this bad boy about to buy. This bad boy about to sell. Let me get ready. Let me break it all the way down to the 1 minute if I get that good, right? Because I can literally, and Jamie know, I can literally break it from the monthly all the way to the 1 minute. And I got to the point where I got so good, I can go from the 1 minute all the way back to the monthly. So
Before you get off tonight, can you actually show that on how you break it down to the 1 minute, like on your entries on a trade that you took?
I'm about to say that's gonna actually be fun. That'll take a while.
Okay.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready.
Cut the rope. Cut the rope.
Oh, yeah. They want me to start passing that collection plate for all that.
Okay.
Is this call on record?
Say that again.
He just wanted to know if this is recorded.
I'm not sure. This not.
Yes, being recorded.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So with that being said, again, my monthly, weekly, daily, all the way through told me buy. Now I'm looking for my analysis or when I would look to enter the buy. Now, of course, the market is closed, right? So right now is not the time I would buy or sell because I can't buy or sell. But what I would look at is now I'm looking at the point where I start breaking it down to my smaller time frames. So now I'm on the 1 hour, right? So I see the impulse. Remember, everything I see, no matter the time frame, everything is impulse, flag, continuation. That's an impulse. This is a flag. This is a continuation. Flag, continuation, bigger flag. So with a bigger flag, I'm going to have a bigger what?
Continuation.
There you go. Like, again, and understand these flags aren't just happening just because. These flags happen for a reason. These flags happen in certain areas every single time. When you look left, a previous flag happened in that area as well. Look at this. Flag here to the downside. Flag here to the upside. Flag here. Flag here, right? You see that? So these are correction areas. So I guarantee you, when we end up getting this continuation, we're going to get a flag here. Why here? Because if you look left, look what happened. Flag. All the way.
Do you use fibs level to determine the flag level?
Sometimes I do. I'm really the person who don't really use fibs like that. I can legit trade naked. I don't need any indicators. Indicators are exactly what they are. They just are. They're just confirmations. Like what I love confirmations. You always stack confirmations, but you don't need a tool to trade. You don't need a Fibonacci. You don't need a MACD. You don't need a RSI to trade. These are things that just help you out. So I do use the Fibonacci, but the Fibonacci isn't my expertise when it comes to looking to enter or exit a trade, right? The Fibonacci helps out when I'm looking at retracements based off of my flag patterns. Like if I see, I'm pretty much looking to see how close it is to the 618, and I'm looking at the actual patterns once it gets in that area, right, to determine whether I'm going to enter or not. But for the most part, I don't even really get too much into the Fibonacci or whatever the case may be. So I can legit, like I got the MACD right here. I love the MACD. Got that. I even got the waves. I love the waves as well. But this is my favorite indicator of them all. Nothing, right? I can legit, if anybody, matter of fact, let me show you all. I'm not sure if everybody actually follows it. If not, if somebody can drop that link in it. I haven't spoken in it in the last 2 weeks, been very, very busy. But if you look at any of my charts, and I legit tell people everything that's going to happen, right? I don't have any actual indicators on any of my charts. I'm letting people know within my channel what's happening, flags, moving to the downside, look for a sale, look for the impulse, stuff like that, flag continuation for it. I'm legit giving people the game here. And I don't use any indicators for the most part, just to show you it's possible. Watch price here. So legit said watch price there. And what happened? We end up getting that move to the downside. right? Push down to perfection, stuff like that. This is stuff that's prior. I'm gonna go to that. This is before. This is the before effect when it hit there, and then I let everybody know watch price here, and then I just showed you all the after effect, right? So legit happens all the time. So I really don't use indicators as much, but I do use them. I'm not against indicators. I'm just a testament to you all that you do not need indicators to be very, very successful in the market. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and Terrell, I was gonna wait to the end, but I was gonna tell you if you wanna hook everybody.
You breaking up real bad. You breaking up.
Yeah, I say you could drop your Telegram and your YouTube so the people can follow you and get some more knowledge later on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do it later.
Oh, yes, YouTube, please.
Okay, no, that's cool. Matter of fact, I think I just seen one of my YouTube videos. So I just just make sure y'all subscribe. I'm gonna drop that in there. And somebody already dropped the Telegram channel. So yeah. So anyways, let's go back. So anyways, I just kind of want to throw that out there to let you all know, like, yeah, you can use indicators and Fibonacci. I'm not against any of it. I just don't use it for the most part. Like I still use it, but it's not like my bread and butter. Like I teach people, again, I'm teaching you how to read a chart. I literally teach you, like everybody not gonna be in front of a computer all day, right? And if you're not in front of your computer all day, you're not able to always look at the Fibonacci. Look at the fact, yeah, your phone shows it, but it's not as crisp and as clear as a computer. And you're not in front of that all day. So I teach you how to read it with a naked eye, because no matter where you go, you pretty much still gonna have your eyes, right? So as long as you know what's going on in the market, you know what you're able to do. So
my only problem is that sometimes when I enter a trade, I may see a flag and it continues to go up, it doesn't stop. You know, I think it's going to reach that 50 fibs level, or you know, it reaches support or maybe a trend line, and then it continues to correct, and I get stalled out.
Yeah, of course, I definitely understand that, and the Fibonacci is great for that. But also understanding the philosophy of knowing what time frame is due for a flag, like that can let you know, that can also help you evaluate whether a flag is ending or still continuing to go. And when you understand that, that goes into the case of me understanding how to read it from the 1 minute backwards, because understanding that part right there alone allows me to roughly be pretty good with my entries, be pretty good with knowing when the flag is finishing up and when it's not, because I understand that no market goes straight up. I mean, no time frame goes straight up and no time frame goes straight down. It always goes impulse, flag, continuation, impulse, flag, continuation. So if I see a time frame that went straight down, then guess what? I'm pretty sure that this next flag, this time frame, even if I'm on a daily, has to give me what? A flag, which is gonna do what? Go into the opposite direction, which is gonna cause a smaller time frame to go into a slight trend in the opposite direction. So I want to make sure if I'm on a 1 hour time frame and it's due for a flag, I'm not entering on the 5 minute time frame for a sale, because my 1 hour flag is still forming. So now I done entered here and this 1 hour flag still forming. I hope that didn't go over everybody's head, but the point is even without a Fibonacci, and I'm not against fibs, I use fibs or whatever all the time. So I'm not telling you don't use it. I'm just letting you know it's possible to understand the same philosophy of a Fibonacci without using a Fibonacci, right? Just understanding time frames. Remember, like I said at the beginning, the most important thing to know when it comes to trading is time frames. The market only moves 3 different ways. Well, actually 2 different ways. The correction is just a bonus, because I understand once it's correcting, it's like my cheat sheet to know to get into that direction of that continuation is about to happen. So with that being said, the market only can go up or down. So with it only being able to go up or down, I have the upper hand to understand if it's going straight down, it's about to, at some point it's finna go up. So now I can catch it going up if it's a higher time frame, right? That's it, plain and simple. And you can literally make a lot of money off that. And looking at patterns, what helps you Like when I look at patterns, like that's how I trade. I trade off patterns. What helps me with trading patterns? Marking up 25 charts a day. Marking up 25 charts a week, every single week. I'm always marking up. Like people see my Telegram. Yeah, I love helping people. I love giving people insight on what to look for the week and things like that. But I don't do it just for other people. I do it for myself. That keeps me on my game of marking up 25 charts every single week. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You just want to continue to keep growing your craft. That's it. That's it. That's all. So, anyways, we done got so far off. I can't even remember where I was at.
You're doing the flag correction.
Right. Okay. So, anyway, I know we was on GJ, so I'm gonna just again. So I'm looking for the overall buy. I just showed you all how I told me buy all the way through. Let me clean this up because now it's just like junky now. We done wrote all over it. I'm gonna kind of go to where we was at. That. All right. Drop back down to that 1 hour. This here, which is a flag. I'm sorry. I move too fast for my own good sometimes. I don't want to move too fast for y'all. This here, clean it up for y'all. All right. So with this being that, delete this. Okay, cool. So with that being said, right, with this, me knowing this is a flag, now at this point, remember, my 1 hour and my 4 hour, my monthly, weekly, daily tells me when I'm looking for a buy or sell. My 4 hour, 1 hour tells me when it's ready. Now, roughly looking at this, I can tell I'm in a nice flag, right? So it looks like I'm pretty much ready. Why do I say I'm pretty much ready? Because when I look left, what's happening? This is an area of what you would call, now I don't mark my charts up like this, but because I'm teaching it like this to you all, I want you all to understand this. Now, this is a support area. Why is this a support area? Because every time price come in this area, it rejects. It reject once, it reject twice, it reject third time, and it's pretty much rejecting a fourth time, right? So again, the market is closed. And if you know anything else about the market as well, always know the market closes in a flag. Every single Friday is closing in the flag. And the reason why I say that, the reason why that's important, because when you know that, that's kind of like your cheat sheet going into the next week. So if I understand this is moving down and it just closed, what am I expecting it to do next week?
Impulse.
There you go. like this stuff is like a cheat sheet for real. Like you start understanding the market doesn't just have physical patterns. It has philosophical patterns too. It's man-made. Humans, we do things in repetition. We have patterns about us. Every time we put our pants on, we always put the same leg in first without even really realizing. That's what's comfortable for us. And this market is man-made. So they do the same thing for the most part. Nothing's guaranteed, but for the most part, they do the same thing every single week. The market is always pretty much closing in the flag. So pretty much we already gave the analysis. This is in the flag, right? Now what I do, remember, shows me if I'm in the buy and sell, shows me when that buy and sell is ready, shows me when to enter that buy and sell. So now, looking at this, where I would be looking to enter this market and where I would be looking to enter in this market, can anybody tell me? Nobody?
When price comes back down to that support resistance trend line?
Exactly, right up in this area. So what I would personally do, literally, I'll do it right now, as a matter of fact. I'm going to actually put an alert here. And I love alerts. Entry.
If you miss the move, do you wait to break, correct, and then you enter again?
Of course. Like if I miss it, like the market, I just showed you all how we got a potential 1,200 pip move to the upside. If I miss 50 pips, do you think I care?
Hell no.
Of course, man, most people can barely sit in the market for 50 pips. So don't be greedy. Don't try to get everything because that's when stuff start going wrong for you, right? Being trying to be quick. So all I do, I'm patient. I always set alerts. Well, you see a lot of TPs here. I give a lot of trades to my team now. But the point is yeah, right here, anything that doesn't say TP or anything like that. That's like, these are literally alerts that I look when to enter the market. I love alerts. I always set alerts. I'm not going to say I hate it, but I do not like pending orders. The reason why I don't like pending orders is because you're giving somebody else the opportunity to, take your money pretty much. You tell the market, put me in at 132.378. As soon as it hit 132.378, it's going to shoot up. Sometimes that pending order start and it's shot down because of news, and it goes straight to your stop loss. Instead of me putting an alert here, when I put an alert, now I'm able to take my knowledge, get to my computer, look and see, is it a sharp move? Do I see an engulfing right here on a smaller time frame? Like, what's going on first before I analyze to actually look to enter the market? I don't just put me in right there. That's dangerous. I don't gamble. Like, I'm not a gambler. I don't look at trading as gambling. This is a skill set. So I use my skill set to the best of my abilities that works for me to actually look to trade in the market, look to enter the market. I don't just want you to put me in here because it seems like it's going to go up. I need other confirmations that it's going to go up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you wait on the small minute to like create an impulsive move,
Yep,
and then you enter.
Because right now I'm on the 5 minute, right? So the reason why I wouldn't enter right now is why? Impulse, flag, continuation, flag, continuation, flag. What comes after this?
Continuation.
Boom, right? And then guess what I'm looking at? All right, once it gives me this continuation right here in this area, I'll get an alert. Now I start looking at this smaller time frame. I'm on the 5 minute. I can even drop down to the 1 minute if I want. And I can start seeing patterns. And the first engulfing I see, guess what? That engulfing. What's that?
That's what I was going to ask. When it pulls back above the trend line, you're going to wait for that impulsive move.
Which trend line is that?
Well, you said when you set an alert for when price reaches that level, but when it pulls back above that trend line, that upward trend line, then you look for that impulsive move.
I think you're saying what I'm thinking. I think you confused me when you say trend line.
Well, you have a trend line right where you made that yellow circle there, right where your mouse key is. You made you set an alert there. So when price breaks down to reach that alert level, it's gonna pull back up.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So once it hits this alert, remember the alert does what? Exactly what it's called. It alerts me prices in that area. So now once it hits that alert, now I have the resources to where I can come to my computer, drop down to, remember, these smaller time frames tells me what?
When it's ready.
Exactly, when to enter the market, right? So it tells me when to enter. So I come down to these smaller time frames. Me personally, I come to the 5 minute or the 1 minute. I love both of them, honestly. Now remember, if I see a 1 minute engulfing, that could be the very beginning of a what? 1 hour engulfing, a daily engulfing. You know what I'm saying? Because it has to happen on the 1 minute before it happens anywhere else.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if I see an engulfing here, this 1 minute engulfing, and it tells me look to do what?
To buy.
There you go. And if I buy at this 1 minute engulfing, what's stopping this 5 minute from creating it? What's stopping this from creating it as a 5 minute engulfing?
It's not.
Or a 15 minute, or a 1 hour, or a daily engulf. Exactly, it's not. I could have caught the very beginning of an engulfing candlestick based off of the higher time frame. So that person who asked me, well, how can I get in before that, or would I wait for that engulfing to end? Remember, we was on a daily. I just showed you how you can get in on the 1 minute engulfing.
You're getting in early on a smaller time frame.
Exactly. That's it. Because remember, the overall market is what? One big puzzle. You just got to know how to put the pieces together. And what's the most important thing to understand when it comes to putting pieces together? Knowing time frames. That's it.
Well, you got the sauce, man.
So you enter there, you put stop loss below the trend line, like 50 pips, 20 pips, depends. And
50? Nah, bro, you got the wrong person. I may do something like, if I enter here, I see an engulfing, stop loss to go. Remember, the smaller the time frame, the smaller the pips, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, I mean, that's a 5 pip stop loss. Like, I can legit do a 15 pip stop loss, 20 pip stop loss, and it comes nowhere near it.
No drawdown.
zero drawdown. I do it all the time. Like,
It's amazing. Yeah.
I do it all the time. Gigi, can you hear me, Gigi? I think.
Yeah. It's like I tell them, 10 pips should be your stop loss, not your take profit.
Right. So like how like on the team, like you and my team group or whatever, like as far as on the team, like how many times do you see people talking about, bro, it just hit take profit in like 30 seconds and like 15 seconds, stuff like that.
Plenty
like,
of times.
The reason why is because I can literally break it all the way down to its next movement. I pretty much, and it's not all the time. I don't want to talk like it's every single time, but more than most. Right? That's why I go crazy when I see people happy that, you know, hold on. What's that? Okay, yeah. I go crazy when I see people like, and it took me a while to realize, like, Terrell, maybe you are actually better than what you think, right? Because I see people going crazy off stuff they did 1 or 2 times that you literally do all the time. I didn't know that was a good thing. It was just a craft that I just continue to keep studying, continue to keep getting better with, right? So
do you wait for the engulfing candle to close and then you market execution right after it closes?
Yeah, if I'm on the 1 minute or the 5 minutes, sometimes I do. Depends. Honestly, it depends on the pair. It depends on the pattern. It really depends. Something like this, I would probably want it to close because I'm trying to catch the overall, I'm trying to catch the overall reversal. The reason why I call it a reversal, because remember, when you go to the higher time frame, the time frame that I trade off of, which is the 1 hour and the 4 hour, what type of trend is it in? When it's all said and done, it's in a downtrend. But it's in an overall uptrend for the higher time frames, but it's currently off the time frame I trade on, it's in a downtrend. So I will wait for that 1 minute. That 1 minute engulfing may not be anything but, heck, I don't know, 8 pips, 9 pips, something like that, right? But once I see it engulf, then I look to enter, and then I catch the rest. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to make dollars.
Like, man, and that's really it. That's how I look at the market. So I just legit.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So you're telling me that I don't know if it might sound weird. Like I can get, you can get basically 10 pips in like a matter. Okay, so a matter of seconds. So what's the word?
This Tercel, you sound like you.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, okay, what up, bro?
So basically, am I digging too deep to say that I can get 10 pips and because I see you digging deeper and deeper to basically you can actually make a sale off of 1 minute. Like, am I like answering that right, or am I confusing it?
No. I mean, it makes sense. I'm with you. Keep going.
So basically, at the 1 minute, you can actually make a sale at the 1 minute. Basically, getting this deep into it, you can make a sale and be like, okay, I can get 10 pips in maybe like 10 seconds, or maybe a second, or maybe 5 seconds. That's basically what I'm saying, like that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, bro. Like, bro, I done caught 100 pips in 2 seconds before. Like news events, all like, yeah, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. So by looking at it this deep and getting this deep into it, like to the 1 minute, you basically making trades. You can make a trade in that 1 minute, and like you said, get 100 pips in like a matter of seconds.
Well, I mean, it got to be. I wouldn't know it's gonna move 100 pips. Like news events, like if I got like NZD news or something like that, I pretty much know price is gonna move hard, fast, right, in a matter of a second. My only job is to determine whether it's gonna buy or sell. So stuff like that, yes. But if I'm just entering the market, it's not really my job to know how fast it's gonna move. I can't move the market myself. I just got to put myself in the best position to go and make sure I'm going in the right direction of the movement. Now, how many times in the group since you've been in have people been saying, take profit, hit that fast, 30 seconds. It took like 4 minutes later, this and that, right? So I didn't know it was going to take 30 seconds to hit it, but I pretty much knew it was going in that direction. And my job was to try to get it to go, like I wanted to get as deep into it to go in that direction as fast as possible. It could have took 30 seconds. It could have took 30 minutes.
That's what you.
What'd you say?
That's what you call high probability trading.
There you go. There you go. and I just break it all the way down till I can't break it down no more. Then they mess around and gave me second. So I'm sure if my 1 second got engulfing candles, that's gonna lead up to an engulfing on the 1 minute. But you know what I'm saying? I ain't go that deep yet, but I'm just at the I'm at the 5 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute area now. But again, it's
So
just
basically, what happens on the smallest time frame is going to happen at the bigger time frame.
There you
overall.
go. Exactly.
Okay.
What I said at the beginning is one big puzzle, and you put the entire, you just put it all together. That's it. That's all trading is. That's all. When I first saw this stuff looked like a foreign language for real. I had no idea what this stuff was. And then I started understanding and learning trend lines. Then I started understanding the market moves in the same way all the way. From the monthly on GJ all the way down to that 1 minute. Did I say anything outside of impulse flag continuation? No, I did. Everything was impulse flag continuation all the way through. Everything was a flag. Everything was an impulse. Even this downtrend. This is an overall. Now, remember, first of all, let's just be technical. If you all remember, I'm never lost in the market. Can anybody tell me what this is currently right now?
That's a flag.
Based off of what time frame?
The daily.
The hours.
Nope. Both of y'all wrong. Remember, always remember where you at in the market.
It's a daily uptrend.
It's a daily uptrend, but it's a flag for what?
Monthly.
For the 1 hour. Or for the daily.
Weekly. Y'all forgot that fact.
Weekly. Yeah.
It's a weekly flag. Remember. Impulse, flag, continuation, flag, continuation, flag, continuation. What? This is just a weekly flag.
Flag.
There you go. Like, again, always know where you at in the market. I understand where I'm currently at in the market is a weekly flag, right? So as I break it down, that weekly flag is going to create smaller time frame uptrends.
Oh, I see what you. Okay, I got you.
There you go.
Because that daily flag is still forming.
Exactly. This right here. Hold on. So I'm gonna take this off right now because we already determined this is a weekly flag, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now understand this right here is a what? This overall weekly flag. This right here is a daily flag for that weekly flag. You have flags inside of flags. So remember, I'm gonna go to the weekly. This is a weekly flag, correct?
Right.
Drop down to the daily. We in the uptrend, but guess what? What happens on one time frame happens on them all. So this uptrend, now we got the impulse. Now we got the flag, right? Now on the smaller time frame, now this flag is forming. Now we just looking for that continuation.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how you.
Wow.
It's literally that easy. It's that easy all the way through. You just always got to know where you at in the market.
The bigger the flag, the bigger the move is going to be.
Exactly. And how do you determine whether the bigger the flag is, the bigger the time frame?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like I said, no market, no time frame goes straight up or straight down. So why is this flag so big? Because what happened on my daily previously before that flag started forming?
You had a continuation.
It just went straight up. You see that? It had just went straight up. But because I knew that didn't go straight up, it had to do what? Come down.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because remember, the market only do two things, go up and down. So I knew it had to come down because it went straight up for so long. Now, I got the flag. Now I'm looking for the continuation.
Wow.
That's it. It's the same thing all the way through.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
Man, that's what you call a mic drop right there. You can just walk off stage right now and tell everybody. that was it.
I was literally saying he just dropped the mic on us.
Right.
Listen, guys. Now y'all see why I continue having Forex and Chill. There's people out there making a lot of noise. Let me tell you what market structure works. Okay? Regardless of the noise out there, market structure works. And Terrell just proved that.
Look, I'm not going like I'm not the person to. First of all, I like anybody who knows me. Like, no, I'm the most laid back. Like, I let people talk. So people can say anything they want to say about market structure. That's fine. Like, I don't care. My ultimate goal is to make sure I'm making money and the people around me is making money. right? I'm not that guy to sit here and say who's the best, I don't care about none of that. I honestly, I'm not out here gloating. When people reach out to me, I'm always glad to help when you know what I'm saying. I'm not that guy, but I say all that to say, when it comes to market structure, this is the only thing. I went to a few trainings when it came to trading, and every time I see traders train, they're teaching strategies, right? There's nothing wrong with teaching a strategy, because guess what? On the strategy, you can make money. But usually, typically on their strategies that they're teaching, they're using indicators. Nothing wrong with indicators. But again, we're not always in front of indicators, right? I'm not always in front of that. I'm legit teaching you, who knows, TradingView may go down one day. I actually met a guy, and I met him through GG and a couple of people down in Myrtle Beach, with North Carolina, actually. I'm not sure if he's on here, and I don't want to call him by name because I don't want to actually, whatever. But the point is, I met a guy, he didn't have access to indicators. He didn't have access to TradingView. He was in jail. And based off of his knowledge in jail, he had a piece of paper where he can literally put in trades every day. Now, just imagine he didn't have the knowledge of market structure at the time. But guess what he could have used in jail while he was trading? He could have used market structure based off of what he was using. All he needed was a pen and a pencil. A pen or a pencil, I'm sorry. He could have literally took a trend line, and based off whatever he had on the paper and everything, took a trend line, drew it down, this and that. Okay, I'm expecting price to do this with this information that we're showing you, right? So, market structure literally allows you to do any strategy that you want. It allows you, people, are you a swing trader? Are you a scalper? Are you a position? What type of trader are you? Intraday, whatever. Bro, I'm really everything. If you really want to be technical with it, because I can do anything. I didn't even know I can scalp. Gigi was telling me for the longest. But until I start really giving signals to my team, because everybody can't sit in a 500 pip move. Everybody can't sit in a 400, 300 pip move like I can. So when I'm giving them trades, guess what I had to do? I start realizing, bro, you can really scalp. This crazy. This is like highway robbery for real. I'm making $300-$400 in seconds.
I would like to say, first off, salute to Gigi. I met her through my homie AP. Salute to you as well. My name is Lisa, and I feel like I'm aligned the same way you guys are aligned. I want to help whoever I can help with what I do know. I don't care about teams of any of that. I just want everybody to get this. But I think it's amazing that you brought jail up, because I have a lot of people on my team that's fresh out of jail, and they all talk about trading in jail on paper. So that seemed like that's something that's pretty popular. But I hope you guys continue to walk in your purpose. And clearly you guys are blessed and will be blessed beyond, years, your grandkids and all of that. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I appreciate that. But
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. That's how I look at everything, man. It's literally that easy, guys. If you all, again, don't get in that battle. And I try to tell Gigi this all the time. Don't waste your time getting in that battle of, your time is valuable. What time is it right now? In Chicago, where I'm currently at, it is 10:43 p.m. on August. I can't even keep up the dates. I need to go back to work. I be forgetting what day. All type of stuff. But yeah, September 27th. 10:43. You'll never get September 27th, 10:43 p.m. ever again. Don't waste your time arguing with people who, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Man, learn your skill set, better your craft, put your people on, and let's live a happy life, man, for real. That's what this skill set, man, when I learned it, and again, I'm glad I gave you all a lot of eye openers, because it took me a while, but I didn't necessarily, my mentor showed me a lot. He taught me pretty much everything, but because of my actual continuous eagerness to be a student, keep learning, keep getting better, even when I was done teaching with him, or even when I was done learning with him or whatever, I can still go to him to this day and get more knowledge from him. But the point is, I just took those same habits he put me on, and I actually just kept going with it. Always a student, continuing to learn. So like now I can literally read the market in and out, like inside out when it comes to the physical. Now I'm at the point in my career where I want to know why and the philosophical of it. Why is it happening? Right? Because the market, I didn't even know it takes $10,000 per pip. Like something, $10,000 on a pair has to go through for the market to move one pip. Right? $10,000 for the market. Like somebody has to put $10,000 in on this actual pair for it to move one pip. So when you get these moves moving 400, 500, 600 pips, right, and days, imagine how much money is going into that actual currency, right, through these big banks, these little banks, these hedge funds. Like imagine that. Imagine what's going on. So like that's where I'm at in my stage of career. I say all that to say, always be a student. No matter how well I'm able to read this market in and out on the physical, I know it's a way where I can get even more in tune with understanding, looking at world news and stuff like that of why it's happening. I can be like, I knew GBPs was shooting up weeks ago. In my boot camp class, I told people, look for these GBPs to shoot up, not only because of market structure, but based off of what I was looking at on these different world newses and stuff like that. Understanding that they have things out here that's literally telling you the game day in and day out, and they literally telling you all day, and nobody even pays attention to it because people are just looking for signals. I don't worship anybody when it comes to trading. If the person you follow isn't, the one thing I love about my mentor, he's always looking to looking to get better. Already made 7 figures. He's young. Already got a name for himself. And every time I meet up with him, no matter whether we on vacation, no matter whether it's business, he always come to me with something new he done found out, something new he's been looking at. And that drove me to do the same thing, right? So you always got to be a student when it comes to this. So take this knowledge today, take the knowledge you gain tomorrow, the knowledge you gain throughout the rest of your trading career, and continue to keep growing it. Like different reversal patterns. I started finding different types of signatures of reversal patterns just based off of why. Always growing, always looking at the patterns. Like Gigi hit me up one day. I think we was trading ECAD or something. This was months ago. She texted me. We made some nice money off of ECAD that day. And she was like, I'm thinking about closing this pattern right here. I usually be seeing this and it do this and do that. I'm like, well, look, since that's something you know, I don't know that. We gonna just close this because now, like, that's your knowledge. You don't realize that's knowledge planting in your head, but based off of what she told me, we closed, and guess what happened? It ended up reversing. So good thing we took our money and getting out of there, right? So yeah, guys, like just keep doing that, keep getting better. So with that being said, does anybody got any other questions for me? I told you I hate hearing myself talk. So
yeah, I have one question. Do you have a limit of how many trades you enter per day?
Beautiful question. Actually, technically, I'm gonna be real with you. I have a limit of trades I enter in a week when it's all said and done. I'm not that guy to like really enter the market. I know this being recorded and I know it sounds hypocritical, but I don't mean it's like, hate is a strong word, so I don't necessarily mean hate, but I am gonna say hate. Like I hate trading, right? So like the more you get in the market, the more you're inclined to give the market your money. So what I do, again, I'm not a bank, I'm not a hedge fund, right? These banks and these hedge funds, they're the ones that look to enter the market and go big, go long, go do all. I'm a retail trader. I don't care if I got $1 million in the market. It's people out here with $1 billion in the market. My $1 million is nothing compared to the 8 billion. And most people who's on this Zoom call can't speak for everybody, but I'm sure you don't have $1 million in the market in your broker's account. So I treat it as such, right? So I'm not looking to enter the market every single day. I look for 2 to 3 great setups for the week, every single week, and I hop in those twice. I get in 1 trade twice. I get in 2 pairs twice. That's 4 orders. 4 orders, literally makes me about roughly anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a week. Right now at this season of my life, I'm good with that because I got something I'm working on that's bigger. But at first, I was making $10,000 in a week when I was just focused on trading, right? Based off of my goals, based off of the setups. So I'm not that guy to say, oh, man, Monday was great. I made $300. What can I find today? Oh, man, let me try to make $200 today. Let me try to, like, no, I'm getting in. Like, honestly, these GBPs started to shoot up. Let me see. I'm sorry, these GBPs started to shoot down this week. And I knew it was shooting down this week. Let me go to the 1 hour. It actually started to shoot down early this week, earlier than I expected. But I knew they were shooting down based on number one, look left right here. Number two, we had a reversal pattern forming. Reversal pattern forming right here, right? So it's a great way to enter the market. I mean, great way to look at the market and tell you that it was an actual sale coming. So anyways, with that being said, like, this is all you needed. With understanding that GBPs was falling, all you needed was this one pair, and that produced you 330 pips this week. This all happened this week, literally. This happened this week. I got tongue twisted for whatever reason. But 329 pips this week on GJ. I put a standard on there. It's $3,000.
And yeah, you made your week. Yeah.
Think about it. Like, I didn't try to go get in GU, GJ, EUR, JPY. Like, literally one pair, one order. Now, am I saying just get in one order, look for one pair every single week? Of course not. You look for your best setups. Some weeks you may only have 1 or 2 great setups. Some weeks you may have 3 or 4 great setups. Now, am I hopping in all 3 or 4? No. I'm looking for a handful of 2, max 3 great setups, and I'm putting multiple orders in on those setups, and I'm milking it. Why? Because based off my knowledge, this is like, man, like, hands down the market was about to drop for GBPs this week. Hands down. Why? Couple of reasons. I'm showing you all this reversal channel was forming. I saw that. Number two, another confirmation. I just showed you. The daily, before this week started, it went straight up. It went straight up. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. How did the market close last week?
A bearish engulfing candle.
There you go. This stuff does not happen on accident, guys. We just went this whole, 2 hours. 2 hours. We went this whole 2 hours, and everything I talked about is literally in your face.
I have one last question. Do you have any brokers you can recommend to anyone?
I got Hugo's Way and FX Choice. I mean, nothing special about them. My mentor, he first actually.
I use FX Choice as well.
Yeah. I'm about to say I use FX Choice. I love FX Choice, and then I actually use Hugo's Way. It was a really easy way to load money at one point in time with Zelle. It's still easy. It's not like hard or nothing, but also
I think FX Choice stopped the withdrawing to banks, and they changed the whole policy of how you withdraw money.
Use Bitcoin. If you use Bitcoin, it's really, really like same day. Like it goes through same day.
Man, yeah, Cash App Bitcoin. That's lit.
You can Cash App Bitcoin. Okay.
So yeah, you go to your Cash App and Bitcoin and scan it.
Yeah. I'm thinking you talk when you said Cash App. First thing in my head was Quick Pay, and I'm like, but exactly. That's what I use. Cash App Bitcoin.
It's instantly.
It's all same day. And when you withdraw, it's same day, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay, so FX Choice is fine then, because I was thinking to switch, but I guess it's legit.
Do you have FX Choice Classic?
Yeah, it's the Pro actually, not Classic.
Pro. How long have you been trading?
I've been on IML for 8 months. I've been watching Steven Cylinder for almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I just start now to grasp the whole Forex thing.
Okay. Well, have you been physically trading with your account, live trading?
Yeah, I already I'm not ashamed to say I already blew one account, so but I don't care about that.
I'm about to say, welcome to Forex. Like I blew 3 accounts.
I know.
I forgot to say that at the beginning.
Yeah.
I blew 3 accounts, man, and they wasn't no. A lot of people go crazy because they go blow 1 account and quit, and they go blow they $100 account. Like I was blowing $2,000 accounts, $1,000 accounts, $500 accounts. Like I was blowing accounts. Even my 4th account that I did not blow, I pretty much blew it. Right, it was right there. You know what I'm saying? So like, never be ashamed. Like people hit me up all the time, say, "Man, I blew my account." I say, "Congratulations, you're officially a Forex trader now."
Yeah. So I will stay in FX choice, I guess. Then I was thinking to switch, but I guess later.
Yeah, I'm not. Honestly, it's not the broker. I personally love FX choice. That's my #1 recommendation.
Do you use the classic or the pro account?
I use the classic because I'm using such big lot sizes on FX choice. They don't take out any taxes doing my trades. They don't take out taxes because the bigger the lots, the bigger the taxes they take. And they also, the spreads aren't as big on classic as it is on pro. So I use the Hugo's way because they do take out taxes, and that's my smaller account. So I go that route with it.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Terrell, you got one mindset you want to share with the family before you go?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what it was. Always being a student. And another thing I'll tell you all, and I actually just talked about this in our boot camp. Well, I just talked about it in our boot camp. It was a great boot camp. Yeah, if you didn't miss it, yeah, I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna say. But another thing that I will say when it comes to mindset, again, guys, like it's not like stop trying to hit home runs, man. Like don't like I grew up playing baseball. I'm very big on baseball. Stop trying to hit home runs when it comes to the market. Understand the knowledge. Like when you just said you've been in for 8 months, you're not ashamed to say that you blew an account and this and that. Like honestly, bro, I bow to you just for the simple fact that like most people would not last that, and you're still here standing strong. You know what I'm saying? Most people they blow 1 account, they quit. They see that monthly fee, they quit. Like it's just all types of things that let me know that you truly want this thing, right? So just keep going and keep going with that thing. Stop trying to get. If you all are those people that's trying to get rich quick, stop that. Like nothing in life that's worth having is really like that. Like I see people literally live their whole life. Like people I'm around in my neighborhood, I grew up in, their entire life, man, they way out is hitting the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like one of these days I'm gonna hit this Mega Million. That bad boy up to 400 mil now, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to make $400 million in a night. You know what I'm saying? Like the market is never closing. You're never missing the opportunity. You all see all those alerts on my on the side of my computer I had. Those alerts are set there to alert me when I could potentially look to enter in a trade that I'm looking at. Do I always enter every time an alert hit? Heck no. Sometimes those alerts hit when I'm dead to right sleep, right? Like I'm not mad because I'm not getting in trades. I'm only looking for 2, max 3 great setups that week anyways, right? So with that being said, yeah, just stop hitting for home runs. Like anybody who knows anything about baseball on here. Like again, I always alluded to baseball. You ever heard of small ball? Like small ball them to death. Bunts, base hits, doubles. Like I get 4 base hits in a row. That's what I got. I got a run scored, right? I scored a run. My ultimate goal was to score a run. My ultimate goal wasn't to continue to keep hitting home runs. Like no. Every now and again, base hit, double, base hit, base hit, base hit. Boom, we steady scoring. Then out of nowhere, what happens? Wow, I just hit a home run. Now, go back up the bat. Base hit, triple. Dang, I just hit a grand slam. I just had a $16,000 day. I had a grand slam, November 16th, 2008. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, 2018. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to get rich quick, guys. Like, have the mentality. One of my he's like my little brother now, Mario. He's from a different country, 24 years old, and he put
I'm
this.
from. Sorry to cut you off. I'm from Cyprus as well. I'm a friend with Marius. We live in the same city. Yeah.
That's my little bro. We were just in Dallas. We had a house together and all of that, in the pool, all of that, right? So one thing he got in my head, like this was a year from now, actually it was last year, October. With that being said, like, man, I wasn't looking at it like a bank. And that's what this is. You're your own bank. You don't grow your bank account by home runs or by millions of dollars. No, it grows by percentages, right? Always be aware of the percentage of your growings. Like some people I hit people all the time. I double my account. I triple my account, right? This and that. You just made over 100% on your account and you mad because it went from $100 to $200 and it wasn't $2,000. Does that make sense? Where else in life are you doubling your account in a day?
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I just loaded 30 to my account, right?
30 what?
No, just $30.
Uh-huh.
Right. I wanted to know what would be a good lot size to put in for an account that small.
A penny, if they allow you to do that.
At least, like that's it.
10 cents is the minimum, I think.
For $30? No, you're not gonna be able to put no 10 cent in.
You gotta do 0.1. I mean, sorry, 0.
Yeah, you gotta do 0.1.
So a micro.
That's 10 cents.
It's 10 cents.
Yeah, 10 cents is the minimum that you can put into the market. I played with $30 before.
Right. Okay. You speaking Forex. you speaking Forex language.
Yeah. Micro.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm speaking just regular. Yeah. I'm from Chicago. I told y'all. So I'm saying a penny.
I'm from Gary. We gotta connect. I'm gonna send you a message.
Okay. Cool. But yeah. So y'all.
Hey Terrell, one question.
Uh-huh.
You used to work full time, and in 7 months you was able to do 6 figures. What was your schedule like? What was your mindset during that time? As people as myself who have a job and doing
that's actually a great question. That was actually gonna be my second take when I came to mindset, but then I thought about it when I said no home run. I just went elsewhere with it. But this is what I was originally gonna say. This what has to be you all's mindset, especially when you're working a job, right? Like I was working easily 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week at my job. And I was on my hands and feet I was on my feet all day. Not hands and feet, but yeah, I was on my hands all day. You got to create yourself a schedule, right? If you want this thing to pay you out like a business, you have to treat it as such. And what do you do with a business? You have a schedule, right? You have to create yourself a schedule around your actual life. Like I'm going to tell you all, and I just told this to somebody, if it wasn't yesterday, it was definitely the day before. And I told them verbatim my schedule and my journey before I actually left my job. And it was crazy because as I was telling them, it seemed like it was yesterday. Cause I told them, like strict. Now me, I'm not fortunate enough. I'm not going to say fortunate, like it's a good thing and everybody else is. But I'm one of those people who I don't have kids and I don't have like a wife. I'm not a family man as of yet, right? So with that being said, my schedule, it did not determine around family as well. I know everybody does not have that. Story isn't the same. So it's gonna be a little different for you, of course. So you always want, like, family is always first. God first, family second. Everything else, like this has to be a third, a close third. You have to really take this thing into mentally. You have to just be ready for the journey. Like no skipping it. So with that being said, my schedule will literally look like this. Wake up at about 5 in the morning, 5:30 at the latest. Go run, get a mile, max 2 miles in before work. Go to work, get ready for work at about 6:30 to 7 o'clock. Get to go in rush hour traffic. Be at work by 8 o'clock sharp, right? Work from 8 to minimum 6:30 at night, 8 a.m. to 6:30 at night, sometimes even 8 p.m. I told you, 10 to 12 hours, right? So 8 to 8, right? Then I get off of work. Let's say worst case scenario, I got off at 8 o'clock. from 8 to 9:30 roughly, I would go to the gym, straight to the gym. Whether I come home, change, or whether I go straight to the gym from work, get about an hour, about an hour workout in, lifting weights and stuff like that. Come home, eat, go to sleep at about no later than 11:30ish, sometimes 12 at the max. Wake up at about 2:30, 3 o'clock for London session. Look for some setups, trade. I was on Zooms with Mario's, GG, all type, like stuff like that. And then get another 2 hours of sleep. I was legit getting 4 hours of sleep a day, max, for maybe 6 or 7 months, right? Just to get through the journey, because I knew, like, literally at one point, this is not going to keep, I'm not going to keep having to do this. Like today, I slept like a baby all the way to 5 o'clock. Literally, it was raining, it was storming. It was like the clouds was down, like up, like it was just a beautiful sleeping day, right? And I enjoyed every bit of it because I knew I was going to have to be on here today. I had some meetings this evening as well. It was just a beautiful day to sleep, but I'm able to
That's
do
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That was
So
literally-
I have a question as well. Like, what are your plans now? Now that you quit your job, like, what's the next?
Say that again.
Oh yeah, now that you quit your job, like, and you do this full time, like, what's next? What's your plans?
Oh man, like, yeah, nah. Honestly, like this wasn't like, I guess, I'm just going off the reaction how you said it. It's like the ultimate goal wasn't to, I guess, this is just the beginning. I'm gonna just put it that way. The ultimate goal wasn't to quit the job. That was just a stepping stone. Now I'm working on my fortune. Now I'm working on my legacy, right? So of course it's not just about me, what's next for me. It's about like the people I'm surrounded by. And man, we doing some big things on different aspects, man. I'm dealing with real estate. I'm dealing with investments. And one of my biggest things, despite what anybody may think on here, despite what I'm just like, I'm building IML. I'm like really building IML. Really focused on building IML. Like one of the greatest companies ever, like, that's existed. And I'm gonna be a part of that to actually, like, people are going to know who I am based on what we do with this company. You know what I'm saying? So again, building IML is gonna allow us to not only help the masses when it comes to this skill set, but be fortunate enough to actually be compensated for what we actually do. And me and my team, not just here in Chicago, because I got people all around the country now. Actually, I'm just, like I said, I just booked a flight to LA for next week. We going crazy with this thing. So right now, in my season where I'm at now, that's why I'm literally not looking to trade all day. I told you, 1 to 2,000 a week, I'm good. I'm straight or whatever. I'm not even looking to murder the markets. People hit me up all the time. Like, did you see that? Did you? Nah, I really didn't. I was just I had an opportunity call. So that's why I was a little late here. I had a meeting. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's where I'm at now. Really building fortune. We building our fortune through IML. Yeah, man. And we just we getting ready for that next journey. Like, whatever. We like building legacies, man. Like, that's the ultimate goal. It's not about, like, I could literally, not saying like I'm rich or nothing like that, because I'm like, I got a long way to go in my head, because like my goal is like billionaire or nothing. Like, people always talk about, I want $1 million. When you watch wealthy people like Grant Cardone, people like Robert Kiyosaki, stuff like that, I'm very big on personal development. I'm very big on always continuing to grow. I'm always reading things like that. Like, you understand, like, number one, money comes and goes. Money is gonna, like, the easier you make money, the easier money is gonna continue to come, right? So at some point, it got to a point where I started realizing, this was probably about 5 or 6 months ago, like, oh my God, making money is so easy now. When my whole entire life, it was always considered to where, like, I had to slave for money. It was a struggle. I just had to be happy that I had a good job, because I was making $30 an hour, right? So that, somebody's unmuted. Okay. Yeah. So with that being said, like, listening to all of these different people and always following, and, Grant Cardone, I understand, like, $1 million, man, that's the floor, right? Like $1 million is the floor. $10 million, that's the floor, right? If I'm making $1 billion, nobody gets rich on their own. I always remember that. So if you hear talking about being a millionaire and having $1 million, I can't wait till I can quit my job. Honestly, those are selfish reasons, and maybe that's the reason why maybe that's why I actually did end up being able to leave my job, because I never had like that selfish mentality, right? So me quitting my job had nothing to do because I had enough money. Me quitting my job had everything to do with me understanding if I really wanted to go out here and be great for everybody else, to allow and help them actually get to where they wanted to be in life, I needed all of my time, not just some of it. So I had to sacrifice extra income from my job, because I am fortunate enough, not to say fortunate like it's a bad thing, but I am one of those people who do not have a family right now. So for my friends who have wives and kids, like something that they weren't able to do, I'm able to take an extra little stress off their back to actually do it myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so again, your goals, your dreams have to be big enough for everyone to fit in it. And if I'm a billionaire, if I have $1 billion, guess what? On my team, and I'm not just talking IML, I'm talking life. Because no matter what industry you get rich in, you never get rich by yourself, right? So on my team, if I'm a billionaire and I have $1 billion, I'm gonna have multiple hundreds, even thousands of people who have millions. My dream has to be big enough for everybody else to fit in it. And me actually leaving that job was just the first step to it. If I didn't take that step, everybody else behind me would still be back. Everybody else behind me would still be out here looking like what, like, yeah, like, so yeah, that, like, with me, man, that's just, I guess in the case you can say that's what's next. But honestly, there was no next. I just started. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to the finish line and the race just started. Like, the ultimate goal was being able to, like, get out the job so I can start the race, if that makes sense.
Hey guys, I would like to say,
does he?
let
Thank you.
me say something real quick. One of the things that drew me to Terrell, this is Gigi, is that he was very humble and he won't brag on himself. Just like he said, he doesn't get caught up in all that stuff. I sat back and watched him. I think your greatest week has been like 28K and your best day has been like 16K.
No, my best week was 19K.
Okay, so your best week was 19K, and I know you had a 16K day. And so you guys might hear him talk about, you know, just catching a couple $1,000s a week now because he's focusing on building residual wealth. But one of the biggest things about Terrell is he loves helping people, especially his community. And whenever he had that really big day, he went out and fed like 250 people in his community for Thanksgiving before he ever did anything for himself. I think it was like he had been trading like a year before he finally spoiled himself and got some Louis bags. But, you don't find many people that are, you see people catch a couple $100s, couple $1,000, and they start bragging and boasting and throwing money up. Nobody even realized how much money Terrell was making because he never flashed it. He never bragged about it. But then you see him go out and feed 250 families for Thanksgiving after he had his biggest day in the market. So that's the type of vibe you're getting right here from this. So just remember, whenever you're blessed, always bless up. And that's what he's doing. And he's going to continue to be blessed for doing it. And that's why we do ForexNChill.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Amen. It's enough money in his eyes versus
Yeah. I heard that about from one of your students, Tiona. She said that, yeah, Tiona. You know, I met her in one of the Telegram groups. You know, yeah. So she told me about, I think, the day you made 16K. So you said, okay, you're gonna do stuff for people just to give back, and that's a really good mindset there, because it's sort of telling us, you know, how we need to handle money and stuff. So I'm just kind of trying to confirm what Gigi is saying. You know, it's really awesome, really awesome. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. It's all like, I mean, coming from where I come from, like, man, it's like, it's not a, I don't know, not the, whatever, but it's not a lot of opportunity here. It's opportunity, don't get me wrong, but some people, they're so like the less you use things, the more it goes away. So like, say for instance, you got an arm, right? And let's say you tie your arm up and you don't use it for weeks, months, right? Eventually, you're never going to be able to use that arm again. So it's a lot of people here who, it's so much crime. Like, you hear about all this stuff in Chicago and all of that, right? So a lot of people, they just satisfied for whatever. They just wake up, just to get through the day, not really getting from the day, not getting from the week, just getting through the week. That's why I really don't, not saying I don't like, but I don't like the phrase, thank God it's Friday. Like, I'm the thank God it's Monday type of guy, right? Even when I was working. Like, because at some point I know there's really no difference. There's technically no difference between a Friday and a Monday. That's why literally now I'm so confused on what days is what, because a day is just a day, right? So the only reason why people say thank God it's Friday is because most people are off of work the next day, right? But what if you off of work every day? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like, man, it's just like that philosophy we're embedded in right now, that you just gotta, yeah, man, I just try to give people some type of, not just hope, but show them it can be different out here. You know what I'm saying? And like, one of the things me and my Market Hunters team is doing, man, we creating something huge, not just in Chicago, but again, like, my ultimate goal is something around the world, not just the country either. And we start here at home, and that's what we're doing now. So, man,
Okay.
yeah, not just.
Yeah. Okay. Like, what would you recommend, or what would be your advice for someone trading US 30 as to what stop loss, like how many pips stop loss should one use for US 30? Because sometimes they might have like a draw, a pullback before it goes your direction. So what would you advise about that?
My answer to that is, and it's not me being smart, it's just being real again. It doesn't matter the pair, it doesn't matter the chart, it doesn't matter the pips, none of that matters. Like, as long as you know how to read a chart, right? It's always the same. Your stop loss is always above or below your previous high of that actual trade. So it's like not a certain pip count. If you don't feel like the opportunity is, like, the risk is too high for the reward, then guess what? Then don't actually enter that trade. Once you know how to read a chart, like, your stop losses go, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to pretty much thank for every stop loss, no matter whether it's a GBP pair, no matter whether it's a slow CHF pair. I can have a 6 pip stop loss, or I can have a 30 pip stop loss, just based on the actual chart. So, like, it doesn't really matter the actual pair. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know how to read that chart, it's going to be above or below that previous high. The lower the time frame you go, when you go to smaller time frames, you're able to see more current lows and more current highs, opposed to you being on like a higher time frame and you go to that current low or current high. So that allows you to have a tighter stop loss. So once you learn how to break it all the way down, that's how you start getting those tighter stop losses.
Oh, okay. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
And you get better entries as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, the better the stop loss, the better the entry. You know what I'm saying? I already know. That all goes with it. So yeah, that's all I got, man. Anybody else got any questions before we get out of here?
Appreciate you, Terrell, man. You dropped some gold bricks again, as always, sir.
You say it's always something new, huh, bro?
Thank you, Terrell, for coming on. It's great to hear you again, my brother.
Yes, I do have IG. Is it not showing on here? Sometimes my Zoom. Hold on. I put my Instagram on my actual Zoom name, but I'm not able to tell. No, it's just my first and last name on here. I don't know why. But yeah, I'll type my Instagram right now for you all.
Hey, I have one last question, if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead, shoot it.
When you started, it's like you save money to your account, like you put every single like a small amount and you grow it that way, so it reach a good level, and then you could trade higher lots, or
That's called a compound plan.
Yeah, you compound. You compound your money. You get you have some sort of a system. Again, like if you want this to treat you like a business, you have to teach it. If you want this to pay you like a business, you have to treat it as such. So if you treat it as such, right? What does every business have? Every business has a system, right? You have to create a system within your trading. How do you create a system? You have a compound sheet. You grow and you compound your money by percentages. You know what I'm saying? Like you do all of these different things. I'm not sure. Are you the same person who told me you met Tiana?
no? I'm the friend of Marius from Cyprus. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, even better. Like one thing. The reason why I ask because I teach my students my system, right, through compounding and stuff like that, all the way through. And like you just have to, you have to find what works for you, create a system, because no business in the world, I don't care where you live at in the world right now, I don't care what the business is, I don't care what industry it is, every business has a system. So if you want this to pay you like a business, you have to treat it as such. You treat it like a business. So you have to have a system. People don't run businesses, systems do, right? You just have the right to tell your system what to do. Create the right system, it'll work for you. And that's how you're able to properly compound your money and continue to grow your accounts. That's all I did. There was a lot of ups and downs in it. Like I just told you all, having a schedule, that in itself is a part of the system, right? I had to have a schedule of how my actual day looked every single day, every single week. That's all a part of your system. Create yourself a system all the way through. You'll be a successful trader a year from now.
Okay, appreciate.
Okay, thanks a lot.
No problem. So, okay, guys, I appreciate you all having me this evening. It was definitely, you know what I'm saying, it was definitely, man, a joy. If anybody, you know what I'm saying, has any questions for me, don't be afraid to, make sure y'all go subscribe on the YouTube. I got some great info there. I put a lot of free content on there, man. Like, again, one of my goals is man, people need to understand this actual this skill set. So understanding this skill set, man, like I literally gave a lot of content on there, putting more on there. Real fast, I'm almost done. I promise. So yeah, I put a lot of free content on there for people to actually learn this skill set, man. And still putting more stuff on there week in and week out. Stuff been a little slow because I've been very, very busy. Boot camp is actually over, so I will get back into the actual my Telegram channel. So expect some nice markups coming this week. If you are new to the Telegram, I usually like to start my markups every Monday morning, sometimes Sunday and stuff like that, depending on what I got going on. But yeah, so definitely going to be in tune with all of that, man. I appreciate you all for taking the time out of your busy. You could have been anywhere doing whatever on a Friday evening, except you sitting here listening to me talk. So I definitely appreciate that, guys.
Thank you, Rel, for all you do. We
no
definitely
problem.
appreciate you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy weekend.
No problem. So, guys, love all y'all, man.
What's the Telegram? What's the Telegram channel?
Hey, if anybody misses the Telegram, we always put the link with the video on YouTube. We'll put all of his links so you guys can subscribe and follow. So even if you miss it tonight, we will definitely drop it tomorrow as well.
Okay. Appreciate.
And thank you, everyone, for coming out. We had almost 150 people this evening participating. It's been a great success, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Gigi.
Night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night. Gigi, Greg.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Love you guys. See you next week. See you next
Bye.
week on ForexNChill.
Bye. See you next week.
Ooh. Oh. Amazing.